With the market nowadays requiring employees moving and relocating all over the world, the need for insurance, of course, has changed as well. Very often, domestic local insurance policies will not cover you once you leave the country or once you move out of the European Union or once you leave the Americas. So the need for international health insurance has risen, with the key characteristics being globally portable in the most cases, complete individual insurance policy that is independent from your employment status, and an insurance price that does not increase depending on the claims that you have made in the previous years. So the international health plans are designed for expatriates that tend to live overseas for more than 3 to 4 years, policies that allow you to have a free choice of medical provider and hospital that you would like to use, and a policy that has very, very flexible benefits so you can tailor them according to your needs. Should this be maternity cover? Should this be hospital only cover? Should it be more a top-up policy on an existing corporate plan? It is completely up to your choice. If you would like to get more information on international health insurance, please contact us on Global Insurance.
All right, let's go ahead and get started here. My name is J.D. Cleary. I'm the Business Development Manager here at Zane Benefits. Really excited for everybody to spend some time with us here today. We've got 30 minutes blocked for this webinar titled The Online Alternative to Group Health Insurance. Really excited to present it to you guys here today. I think there's a lot of good content in here, and maybe a lot of things that other people aren't exactly saying. So we're coming out and saying it, and this is the online alternative to group health insurance. And it's really the reason that we've existed as a company since 2006. So thank you for your time. About 30 minutes blocked for the webinar presentation here. We'll definitely do a question and answer session at the conclusion of the webinar. And as you do have questions throughout the piece here today, please insert them through the question box of GoToMeeting, and we'll spend some time at the end of the webinar going through the questions and getting them answered for you. This webinar will be made available on demand, as all of our webinars are. So presentation materials, audio will all be provided subsequent to this webinar through our on-demand webinar site on our website. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump right into it here and go through an agenda here for the webinar. And first off, quick overview of Zane Benefits. If you haven't worked with us before, then I'll just tell you real quickly about who we are and why we exist. We'll talk about really the whole problem that we're trying to solve, and the problem that exists in the health benefits or health insurance world has existed for a long time. And then what the online alternative to group health insurance is. And for those of you who haven't been accustomed to use some jargon or buzzwords here, HRAs or defined contribution, that is the online alternative to group health insurance. And we'll go through the details of what that is and then how it works. And pretty much the core here of the webinar, after we go through what the online alternative and how it works is why it matters. Why should it matter for businesses? Why does it matter for individuals and families out there? And why does it matter for insurance professionals? I know we have a combination of insurance professionals, CPAs, employers on the line. So keep that in mind as we go through the presentation here, that we do have all types of audiences on here. We've got a little piece dedicated to each. Okay, and then just a quick summary of the webinar. We'll wrap it up. Again, this is kind of a quick shot webinar. We've got about 30 minutes together. Going to cover a lot of material. So I'm going to go fairly quickly, and hope you enjoy it. All right, so who is Zane Benefits? We were founded in 2006 by Professor Paul Zane Pilzer, and really founded on the premise that individual health insurance is a better product than group health insurance. And the reasons for that we'll get into later as we get into the online alternative for families and how it works. But really, that individual health insurance is a better product than group health insurance, and is a better product for most businesses because it allows certain things that group health insurance does not. And we have clients in all 50 states and have been distributed nationally since our inception in 2006 by top insurance companies, brokers, insurance agencies, payroll companies since 2009. We do not sell health insurance. I hope that's understood and clear, nor do we want to. We really value our partnership capabilities with those that do sell health insurance and those people that work with businesses. Those are the people we want to work with. We have no interests or skin in the game, if you will, when it really comes down to the actual health insurance or the product or products involved. All right. So I think the slide after this isn't going to be much of a surprise to you, but just kind of want to set the stage just a little bit. You know, the problem that the online alternative to group health insurance solves. Well, the problem is group health insurance, and the problem is that group health insurance costs too much. So again, I don't think this is going to surprise too many people on today's webinar, but it's a great figure here provided by Kaiser that shows the average annual premiums for single and family group health insurance coverage from 1999 through 2011. You can see back in 99 there, the average single coverage rate started about $2,000. It has ballooned up to $5,400 in 2011. Basically the same on the family coverage side. But point being that these are exponential increases in the cost of group health insurance. And it's evident right here on the screen, exponential increases. Are employee wages and employer revenues increasing on the same scale? Absolutely not. So with the employee wages and employer revenue numbers not increasing in line with the cost of group health insurance, there's a problem. It costs too much. Businesses can't afford it. And remember here, you know, the reason that businesses or employers offer health insurance in the first place really is to recruit and retain employees. They usually, and some do obviously, but they don't really care about the health of their employees. It's just been customary, and really since World War II, to offer group health insurance to employees. That's when it really became created. The tax deduction was created in World War II times, so it became a tax-deductible expense to businesses. They go, well, great, yeah, I want to recruit and retain employees, and of course I'll offer this. It's a tax deduction for me. That's great. And employees have benefited, where they're getting the tax benefits of a group health insurance offering as well. You know, paying through a cafeteria plan and getting to pay for their portion of the group health insurance plan that their employer selected. They get to pay for that with their own pre-tax dollars if there's any portion that they're required to pay. And traditionally, the individual health insurance has not been guaranteed issue in most states. There's this moral obligation that has existed for these businesses to provide group health insurance to the employees. It's existed since World War II. Well, it's been recently reported that we are now undergoing the biggest change in employer-sponsored health benefits since World War II. So we're transitioning here into a world of the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare. And there's going to be really an enormous transition here from employer-sponsored health insurance to defined contribution health benefits in the individual health insurance market. And the ideal solution moving forward into this new world, you know, has to address the same issues. The reasons that businesses have offered group health insurance traditionally, the tax deductibility, tax-free nature for employees, and then there's that moral obligation piece. So these are some of the pieces that we'll touch on today throughout the webinar. All right. The information on this slide, it may be a little scary to some people, especially we got some business owners on the line here today, but it's actually really, really simple. And the solution really is now. It's now in 2013, and it begins with canceling your group health insurance plan, if you have one. So if you're a business owner and you do have a group health insurance plan today, it's probably going to make sense for you to cancel that group health insurance plan. If you don't have one, no worries. Offer employee benefits anyway this way. But cancel your group health insurance plan. You're always complaining about it anyway. You're saying, I can't afford it. You know, your next rate renewal comes up. You go, I can't afford this group health insurance plan because of those exponential increases that we showed. Well, why do you have it? Cancel it. Still offer employees benefits, but you don't have to do it through a group health insurance plan. define a budget that you can afford and create a defined contribution plan. Businesses budget for everything else in their company. They've just traditionally budgeted way more for a group health insurance plan than maybe they wanted to, or even had to. So why not fix your health benefits budget and fix it on your own terms through a defined contribution plan. Select an insurance professional to help your employees. I'm assuming you don't want to be in the health insurance business. You probably felt like you have been if you've offered group health insurance. Get out of the group health insurance business. Select an insurance professional dedicated to your employees so that they can deal with the health insurance pieces. That's what these insurance professionals are in the business for. They want to be in the health insurance business, and they're good at what they do. Assign a broker to your employees. And focus on your business. I mean, that's the most important thing. You have a business to generate revenue, make your employees whole. Focus on that, and let the online alternative to group health insurance allow you to focus on your day-to-day business. Okay? So get out of the health insurance business if you're in it right now. Again, we mentioned here we are going to answer questions at the end of today's webinar. You can input the questions throughout the time here into the GoToMeeting dialog box, and we'll get to them at the end. Okay? So what is the online alternative to group health insurance? And I alluded to this a couple slides ago, but what it is pure defined contribution. Okay? For those of you that have never heard of defined contribution really is it's Zane HRA, or a health reimbursement arrangement. And our Zane HRA product is the purest form of defined contribution. And in purest form just means it's not tied to a group health insurance plan. It really is what it says. It's a defined contribution that the business can afford to provide to employees' benefits. Okay? It doesn't stand for health reimbursement account. It is a true health reimbursement arrangement, an arrangement between the business and their employees for tax-free medical expense reimbursement. And that tax-free medical expense reimbursement, the medical expense piece, it absolutely includes reimbursement of individual health insurance premiums. Notice I say reimbursement, not payment. A business, when they have a defined contribution plan, they're not paying for employees' health insurance. You see right here on the screen, in fact, HRAs, they are not health insurance. They are a tax-free vehicle to reimburse employees for qualifying medical expenses, including health insurance premiums. Okay? One of the best analogies or comparisons that we make here at Zane Benefits is that a Zane HRA plan, it functions just like a business expense account. I'm sure almost everybody on today's webinar has had a business expense account or access to one at some point in their business lifetime. And what do? You go out and you incur expenses. You take a client out to dinner. You get a receipt for taking that client out to dinner, and you bring it to your employer for reimbursement. And they reimburse you through the business expense account. Perfect. An HRA, or a defined contribution plan, works the same exact way. The employee incurs an expense, but the difference is it's a medical expense. Okay, and it's protected by employee medical privacy law, or HIPAA. Well, we'll get into the acronyms in a bit, but it is governed by and protected by employee medical privacy law. So that employee can't just go to their employer and go, hey, here's proof I purchased health insurance, or here's proof I went to the doctor and had an exam, reimburse me. So defined contribution plans need a third party, a qualified party to review employees' claims, if you will, or requests or receipts. So Zane HRA allows for that and gets the business, again, out of the health insurance business. They're not going to see any details of anything of what employees are purchasing for health insurance. All right. We've described the problem that we're about to solve, given you a very high overview of what pure defined contribution is. Now we're going to get into a little bit more of the nitty-gritty, if you will, or the actual overview of a Zane HRA plan or pure defined contribution. It is so simple. Some people try to overcomplicate it, but really if you can just look at this slide and think of this in very simple terms, it can be very easy. The business determines contributions. Let me preface this by saying, let's pretend I'm a business owner and I can't afford my group health insurance plan anymore. And I really want to take that perspective of I want to get out of the health insurance business. What do? Well, I define what I can't afford. I couldn't afford those group health insurance rates. My business just didn't allow for it. I define what I can afford. I set eligibility criteria as to who I can afford to provide a benefit to at my company. I pick a start date that I want to start contributing to their benefits with these contributions that I've determined in step 1. I enroll employees into the plan, and I send them a welcome kit saying, hey employees, I've enrolled you into a defined contribution plan. Here's how much I'm allocating, here's what you can use it for, and here's how it works. Okay? On the employee side, they purchase individual health insurance policies. It can be any individual health insurance policy they want, any carrier, any deductible, any plan options. It's up to the employee. Me as business owner offering this to employees, I don't have any control of, I don't have any knowledge of which insurance carrier they select, what plans they purchase, because the insurance broker that I've dedicated to my company, he works with them to do all that. I don't need to know that. I don't want to know that. So the employees pay to the health insurance carrier. Employees submit expenses for reimbursement, just like the business expense account, but they're submitting this online to Zane Benefits, or they're faxing it or mailing it, whatever's most convenient for them, but they're submitting it to a third party so that their business doesn't see any of the details of what they've actually purchased. This information is HIPAA protected. So the Zane Benefits Claims Processing Department here, we've got a whole HIPAA-protected area of our company, really under lock and key, that adjudicates employees' expenses, and all that means is approves. Our claims processors here are reviewing employees' claims to make sure that they are valid requests for reimbursement, according to the IRS regulation that sets it, and valid according to the plan that the business has designed, that it's an expense that they allow for reimbursement under their plan. So Zane Benefits Claims Processing says, yes, this is a reimbursable type of expense. Business, reimburse your employee for expenses. I'm not going to tell the business what the employee used those dollars on. It's just an amount that says, here's what your employee qualified for reimbursement for, the dollar amount, not the actual expense, not the health insurance carrier, not the doctor, provider of service. All that information is kept medically private from the business. They log into their account, see how much their employees are due, and the employer reimburses their employees. Okay, so on the individual policy side, the employees purchase their health insurance policies just like they do their auto or home or any other insurance policy. No real reason to tie it to your employer, as I'll get to on the family side of the webinar. And the employer reimburses employees just like business expenses. Okay? So why does this all matter? Why does defined contribution or HRAs or any of the acronyms matter? Why does the online alternative to group health insurance matter? Well, it matters for businesses. This is really important for them. The recruiting and retention portion of the reason they offer health benefits in the first place, it's a key part of an employee's compensation package. They go to businesses because of the health benefits that they offer. So with an HRA or defined contribution, the business, they can define different levels of benefits they want to offer to employees. And they pay their employees different amounts of money, different salaries. Why not provide them different HRA benefits through the use of employee classes? They might say our management team gets X amount, or our front office staff gets a different amount. It turns their health benefit plan really into a recruiting tool, where they can use their defined contribution plan to recruit and retain employees, new employee hires, prospective hires. They could create an employee class just for them. Cost savings, that's really the primary problem, is the cost of group health insurance. So the business can define their maximum budget. They're never going to exceed, from a budgeting perspective, the amount that they allocate right up front to the defined contribution plan. They don't have to pre-fund it. It's not an account, remember, it's an arrangement. So the business is keeping their money. They're just allocating in writing through the legal plan documents of the HRA how much they're notionally making available to these employees, not an account. And the business only spends what the employees actually use. If they allocate $300 a month and an employee only uses $200 for a month, that employer has only had an expense of $200. for that particular employee. And then it's got to be easy to use, and part of that with the defined contribution plan or our Zane HRA product is it integrates with an employer's payroll system. That could be an in-house payroll provider, a contracted out provider, but it works with any payroll system, and the health benefit offering literally becomes a payroll function for that business. They don't have to worry about anything else. And it's got to be compliant. It's got to comply with all the acronyms you see on the page here. I'm not going to get into the details of all of them or why, but all the acronyms, and ACA is probably the one we haven't touched on yet that you need to be aware of. There's so many rules and regulations set by health reform. It's literally impossible for a business to self-administer a reimbursement program like this without some sort of software tool to do it, to make sure that they're in compliance with everything that they need to be. Okay. So the online alternative for businesses, just to take this a step further, does your business employ less than 50 full-time equivalent employees? If the answer is yes, cancel your group health insurance plan. Really. Why? In 2014, all health insurance is guaranteed issue. There are no penalties for your business in 2014 if you don't offer group health insurance. Again, this is if you're less than 50. And employees get tax subsidies or tax credits for individual health insurance if you don't offer group health insurance. Okay, so you don't offer group health insurance, you're not paying penalties, your employees get subsidies, tax credits, and you can supplement that with an HRA plan so that they can still value that recruiting and retention tool that these business owners want. If your business employs greater than 50 full-time equivalent employees, complete a financial analysis. And that's shown on the right-hand side here. Compare the cost in 2014 of really your three different options. What is the cost of offering qualified, affordable group health insurance to your employees? Number 3 there, really the bottom of the barrel is, hey, I don't want to offer group health insurance. I'm going to subject my business to the penalties. I'm just going to pay the penalty and move on. But then you're sacrificing, that employee recruiting and retention tool. So right in the middle there is, hey, I'm going to pay the penalties, but I'm also going to offer an HRA allowance or a defined contribution allowance for that employee recruiting and retention tool. Okay, so it's really going to be entirely a financial analysis for these businesses with greater than 50, because that moral obligation of offering group health or offering health insurance goes away because guaranteed issue fits. So the moral obligation is gone, and the business really can look at it from a purely financial perspective. All right, what about families? What does the online alternative do for families or individuals out there? Number 1 is choice. Rather than being tied to an employer's group health insurance plan that employer selected, pick any plan, any health insurance carrier, any deductible, any coverage options you may want, any supplemental type products. And it's portable. Your coverage, your health insurance is no longer tied to your business, your employer, I should say. Okay? You don't tie your auto or home insurance to your company, so why would you tie your health insurance to your company? Why don't you select it? And then if you leave that company, your health insurance goes with you. It's portable. We touched on it, but tax savings. I mean, $1 in tax-free wages is a whole heck of a lot better than $1 in taxable wages. So in some instances, you may go to your business on an annual review or however your business does it, and you're the employee. You may go, look, I don't necessarily want a salary increase. Can you increase my HRA allowance? And your employer is going to go, of course. We'll increase your HRA allowance as opposed to your salary. It's beneficial for the employee because of the tax savings. And it's beneficial for the business. And then the subsidies, massive individual health insurance subsidies are available to employees in 2014, and it's only for individual health insurance. Okay? Next slide here, we'll go kind of take that a step further. We'll go into the online alternative for families. A lot of text on this slide, but I think it's a valuable one. The premium subsidies or tax credits, they're being referred to as well, is available for households with income between 100 and 400% of federal poverty line. And again, the tax subsidies or credits are available only in the individual health insurance market on the exchanges in the particular state. And to kind of bring this full circle on the family side, if a business doesn't offer qualified, affordable group health insurance coverage, employees may qualify for subsidies. So again, take this in the under 50 employer space. Why would you offer group health insurance? Because if you don't, your employees might qualify for subsidies. And even if they don't, you still offer the HRA allowance so they can take it and go purchase health insurance. All right, we've got 4 or 5 minutes left. I'm going to kind of fly through the last portion of our slides here. That way we can be conscious of everybody's time. But the online alternative for health insurance professionals or insurance professionals. Really, you've got an opportunity to redefine an industry, the way that an industry has really operated since World War II. Again, there's no incentive for these businesses with less than 50 employees to offer group health insurance because there's no penalties of doing so. You should look at your individual policy sales in 2013 and go, this is the time for me to make more individual policy sales than I've ever made because of this incentive for these businesses to drop group health insurance in preparation of 2014. And then in 2014, your individual policy sales should increase as well with guaranteed issue. Imagine if every time you went out and tried to sell an individual policy, it was guaranteed issue on the major medical side right now. That'll be the case in 2014, and the employees will be getting, in a lot of cases, subsidies from the government for that purchase. And just be part of the overall health reform solution. A lot of businesses and really, quite frankly, even health insurance professionals right now look at health reform and Obamacare as, man, this is the worst thing ever. Well, be part of the solution. I mean, walk into that business owner that feels that way and tell them about a solution that others aren't telling them about. And then your insurance service integration, make sure you've got an online quoting tool if you don't already. The Zane HRA program here allows you to customize what the employees see and get to your online insurance quoting tool. Still traditionally your meet and greet kind of one-on-ones. I mean, you're developing a relationship with that business as the client to service all of their employees. Okay, and you're really looking to become navigators of the health insurance industry, and all these health insurance professionals, you're all the experts. I mean, this is your business. This is what you've been doing forever in a lot of cases. So you're already this navigator, and you may want to formally become a navigator in 2014. But establish that relationship with the employer and the employees, and make that employer select you. Choose you as the insurance professional of choice for their company, and that's for all employees that exist at the company the day you walk in, and that's for every new employee that's hired. Small businesses, they have tons of turnover, so you'd be really servicing every employee at the company over time as long as you are the insurance professional of choice for them. And then exchange plan options and subsidies, offering that dedicated insurance services that we just walked through, kind of the online and in-person type of thing. Whatever works best for your business, you provide your insurance quoting tools or insurance options to employees in that manner. And help these employees choose versus sell them. You really don't even have to sell too much. When they're coming to you with a budget, an employer-defined contribution amount, that's what the employee has to spend on health insurance. And if they have any additional income available and they want a better plan option, by all means, that's their choice to purchase a policy that may cost a bit more than what their employer is contributing. So just like an investment advisor helps employees choose, 401k investments, but really choosing the best health insurance policy for that employee's family. All right, just went through the last couple slides there fairly quickly, but we're going to wrap up today's webinar. We're almost reaching our time limit here on the presentation portion. So I just wanted to go through again, the solution really is now. And this may look scary to some people, some insurance professionals even, but cancel your group health plan if you have one. Define the budget, define the contribution requirements or eligibility requirements in the defined contribution plan. Select that insurance professional and focus on your business. Use the online alternative to group health insurance to increase your business because you won't have to deal with health insurance ever again. Okay, and we've got the Zane Benefit Solutions here. Again, if you haven't worked with us, we're a software company providing this technology solution for HRA or defined contribution paperless administration, the compliance layer, the tax savings layer. So all of the businesses out there are doing this the right way. And the businesses open up their defined contribution plan, do everything electronically online, manage their own plan, contact us in our support side if they ever need anything. But health benefits really becomes a payroll function for these companies. They're going to run payroll anyway. the health benefit offering becomes a payroll function. Employees get their own individual policies from their health insurance brokers of choice. They submit proof of any of that or information to Zane Benefits. We don't sell health insurance. We just work with the people that do to make sure that the employees are satisfied with their insurance experience and overall experience with the HRA product. All right, well, we are going to open this up to some Q&A here. Told you I'd only take 30 minutes of your time. I think I'm right on it. And hope everybody enjoyed today's webinar. We'll just come up to a quick summary screen here of what we talked about. Hopefully this prompts some additional questions. We always get a lot, so I'm sure there's a bunch waiting for me here in the GoToMeeting box. All right. Thank you for everybody's time. We're going to open this up for a question and answer session for 10 or 15 minutes or so.